All right, guys, so a really quick overview of MLA citations. So why do we cite our sources? We cite quotes because we want to avoid plagiarism. We want to make sure that we're not copying anybody else's work. We also cite our sources so that we can give authors credit for what they've done. So we didn't do this, but this is who did. And then lastly, we cite sources to help readers find our evidence in the original text. For us, we're looking at short stories, so it's pretty easy for me to find, but as you get into longer text, it'll be important for you to be able to cite and make sure your teachers know where you're finding those quotes from. All right, next, and hopefully there it goes. When do we cite? We cite direct quotations from a text, so that's quotes that are word for word, and we cite paraphrased information from a text if we're really kind of explaining exactly what happened as evidence. So over here, direct quote, you can see I copied something that the narrator said word for word, and then I cite it. And this is just my version. I rewrote and paraphrased what the narrator said. I should still cite that. But for the purpose of our class, we're always going to use direct quotations for our evidence. All right, how do we cite? Like I said, in our class, we're citing direct quotes. You are going to cite the author's last name and the page number, if the page number is available. And it should be in our short story books. You're just going to use those big numbers at the bottom of the page that I wrote on there. When you're citing, you move the punctuation to after the citation. So if you look over here, there's this sentence right here, this direct quotation. You notice there's no period here. That's because we move it outside of the citation. Any punctuation mark, so a question mark, exclamation point, no matter what it is, you move it from here to here. But you do want to include those quotations both before and at the very end of the quote. If you don't know the author's last name, you can use, the title and the page number, but for our class, we're always going to have the author's last name, so you won't have to do that. What not to do? Don't put a comma between the author's last name and the page number. Every year students do that. You don't have to do that. You're just putting the author's name, page number, that's it. Don't put P or PG or page before the number either. Just author's last name and number. And then don't switch it up. People sometimes put the page number before the author's last name. You always want to start with author's last name and page number. And most importantly, don't forget to cite. And again, for our class, we're just going to be working from one text at a time, so you won't make any type of works cited or bibliography. But you're going to get used to making sure that you're citing the author and the page number inside of your writing, which is called an in-text citation. All right, make sure you fill out those notes for your station work.